Hi guys, this video is about how to keep your hydroponic reservoir cool. So the water in your reservoir, you want to keep it at a certain temperature. There's a certain range. I'm not sure about it right now, but if you simply Google ideal water temperature for hydroponics, you'll have that range. And I've been struggling with that here because I'm in a hot climate. So right now I'm in Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso, and the water heats up quite easily, quite fast. I actually had to put my plants mostly in a shaded area for most of the day because the sun was just too much. So let me switch the camera and I will show you the solution that I found for that. But I still have a certain problem with it, but that's at least like one step going there. The solution is to use a clay jar. So traditionally, clay jars are used to keep your water cool. So, well, you can have some fresh water to drink all day long. So if you're in the United States, well, maybe that's something you have never seen. But in sub-Saharan Africa, a lot of people use that, especially when they're in the countryside, and even very like the big civilizations at the beginning, you know, when there weren't any fridge and stuff like that, people figured out that putting your water in clay jar can keep the water cool. So Egyptians, Babylonians, and all these badass people use that. So I never thought about this, you know. It's like my dad one day said, "Oh, you should use a clay jar." And I was like, "Oh, damn, yeah, that's true." And the thing is that it worked quite amazingly. It's very, very efficient. So even when it's full sun during the day and it's like 40 degrees Celsius, the water inside the clay jar it's like it's in the fridge. Basically, I haven't measured the temperature, but I know that it's like basically having the water out from your fridge. It's so fresh, it's amazing. I had other systems here. You can see this whole area here is deserted. It's because it's just too hot during the day. I even added like a lot of shade, so basically all of this was shaded. But once I measured the water here, it was going towards the 40. I had some plants dying up here because the water boiled, and while the water in here, it was just very cool, so it's not going above like 25 degrees. It's like always like super cool. Yeah, so that's the very cool part. That's the solution part. But now something that I learned, there's always problems lurking around, is that the thing that actually cooled the clay jar became a problem for me, because right now I'm using the Kratky method. So that means my water is here in a what we call a net cup, and it's hanging above the water like this, you see. So it's hanging above the water. So here's the water, and it's hanging. That's tomato. So seeds from here. I don't have the specific name of the variety. So now the water cools because there's evaporation. So the water basically evaporate through the clay jar during the day. That's why you can see that it looks a bit like humid, because there's this constant evaporation from all the side of the jar. So I haven't checked the science behind it yet. I intend to do that and do some like nice drawings and mind maps. If you have seen my channel, there's a bit of that over there. But now I just know that this evaporation is a problem, because in Kratky, you want the water level in your reservoir to go down slow, so that the roots have the time to grow and keep touching the water. If my water just go down super fast, and you've seen the roots here, and let's say they reach here and the water level just goes down here, then I will just have roots hanging in air, and the plant won't be drinking any water, and it will just start dying. Now that's an issue for me, because last time I measured, that's what I lose basically in a day. So this line here, all the way to that line here, that's what I lost. And basically I measured by adding 2 liters of water, and basically the level came back up around here. So very, very roughly, I think I'm losing around 2 liters of water per day. And that's a pain for me, because if I do Kratky, it's because I want to not have to top up the water very frequently. I want to basically set things up and forget about them. But for that to happen, I need to have enough water in my reservoir, and I need the evaporation rate to be small enough so that the water do not go down too fast. So yeah, so now what I do is I add 1 liter every day, because I still want the water to go down a little every day so that the roots keep on chasing it. But that's not the ideal. That's not the point of the Kratky method. So I will try and figure out something. So I don't know if you have tried that before. If you had, let me know in the comments. And also, if you have some solution or some ideas, feel free to share. Now, as a bonus, I will show you the other system I have running. So I've been having trouble with this guy here. I don't know why it's doing all of that, so that's more research to do for me. It's probably like the sun, but his friend here is having no trouble. So you see, that's the same principle. That's Kratky, and they're hanging in the same sort of cup. There's water below, so that's 30 liter. The other one, I think, the clay jar, I think that was like 20 or 24 liter. Yeah, they're doing very fine. And here, I don't have to add water. It's been, I think, 20 days that they're in there, and I don't have to add any water because the evaporation rate is really, really small. A bit goes out from here through evaporation, and a bit come out from the plants through transpiration. That's it. And I don't think I will have to water the plants for most of their lifetime. Maybe I will have to add water maybe once in their lifetime, but that will be pretty much it. But now here, why do you think that box is here? Because there it was too hot. And because it was too hot, the water was heating up every day, and this is not good for the plants, because when you start coming out of this temperature range, I think the plant cannot take in oxygen anymore, or something about nutrients. There are some issues that start to arise. So I'll probably sit down and make some proper research on that, but basically it's no good. You need to be in that temperature range. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you and share this idea and problem with you about clay jar and keeping the hydroponic water cool. Hope you enjoyed, hope it was useful, and see you next time.